And we're getting there. I mean, there's just so many interesting things that just came up, and when you're using a metal detector, you're amazed it came up. We found all sorts of things to do with the, probably with the agricultural equipment that had been on site. So there was 2 tops of Shell petrol cans. And we have a Shell petrol can here, oops, in its original condition with the same sort of top on. Not used for petrol anymore. It would be illegal to have petrol in that now. You can't put petrol in that sort of can anymore. But they would have had these to fill up, you know, I don't know, tractors, motor mowers, or indeed, quite possibly, the family car. And we have some very interesting information about the family car, which we'll come to. It probably would have had one of those on the running board in case when it went for a day's trip it ran out of petrol, and it would have had either a Shell petrol can or a Pratt petrol can or something like that. I'm old enough to remember when petrol was 1 shilling and 6pence a gallon, that's 7.5p. Last time I filled up it was 99p a litre. From Barford Agricultural Limited of Grantham, England, and that's obviously just rusted away and fallen off. One of the most interesting things, and I said that the family car would certainly probably have one of those on the running board. This is something that was dug up, and let me just show people that. And it says, what does it say? Scripps Booth, Detroit. Now anybody who knows anything about America knows that Detroit was where General Motors are now and is the motor capital of the United States. And the Model T Fords and so on came from there. This is the nameplate of a car that somebody's perhaps removed, or maybe it just fell off. But maybe somebody removed it like they do today when they see a BMW or they want to pinch or something like that. And this is just that sort of thing. Well, that was interesting. What else did we find that was interesting? Lots and lots of things. One of the other friends tells me that this is the top of a candle snuffer. Can we see that? Imagine it as, you're seeing it flattened, but imagine it as a sort of cone shape, and it would have come down over the candle to snuff it out, which you had to do, make sure, of course, of fire or anything like that. At night time, the candle would be snuffed. It may be pewter, or it may have been silver plated originally. I mean, it's absolutely worn now and it's flat and it's been trodden on, but it came from the house. So that is something, a genuine artefact from the house, which we thought was rather nice. 3 other things which were found in the park, and I bought this, I mean, to really, because people collect all sorts of things. A lot of people collect thimbles, and we found 3 thimbles. I don't think there's anything very special about these thimbles, but you can get them in silver, you can get them with advertisements on them for soaps and things like that, Rinso or Gossages or something, and these are just 3 that have obviously dropped off somebody's finger as they were picnicking in the park or working in the park. This one's been really quite a nice one. In charge of the excavation and who interpreted some of the finds for us said that the park's been in use consistently over a long period of time, and as some of the things say, we've got stuff here from the 18th century right through to the 20th, and probably to the 21st as well, because we did find these modern things here. And we've got a gas lighter, somebody's pen, and some modern toy. Have you seen some of the old ones, and some modern toy? And they would picked up by the metal detector as well. And the other thing that was picked up, and we do find this interesting, let me just put them in my hand so that you can see. Well, no, I can't put them in my hand. Let's leave them on this white plate so you can see them. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 watches. Now, a couple of them really are modern. I mean, that obviously is a modern watch. Calendar watch. And it's, I don't think it's it's the sort which you have a battery for, isn't it? And that's probably a fairly modern watch as well. And they must have just slipped. Oh, it's an Avia. Oh, it's an Avia is a good watch. Well, they just slipped off people's wrists, and they must have been rather sad when they got home. Avia Mariner. So that's probably been quite an expensive watch, but probably a lady's watch. The oldest and perhaps the best of them is this little watch. We thought when it was dug up, we were hoping it was gold, but it's not. Tough. When we opened it up, it actually says, what does it actually say on the back? Let me remind myself. It's rolled gold anyway. It guaranteed to last so many years. What does it say? Warranted. It's rolled gold. It's not solid gold. It's gold plated. And this is a Swiss watch. And again, rather like the Avia, was probably quite a nice little watch, a lady's watch. And she would have been sad that she'd lost it. Now these two pieces did come out of the house as they were excavating it, because they excavated down into the kitchen area or down into the basement certainly at one point. And what came up was a very nice solid metal wheel together, and because they were found quite near each other, I suspect they belonged together. The plate from R.T. Hayes & Co Limited, engineers and boiler makers, Liverpool, and we suspect maybe this was the central heating boiler or something like that, and that plate came from it. Does anybody know anything about R.T. Hayes & Co? We haven't so far been able to trace them, but it's a Liverpool firm and there must be information out there, so anybody who sees this film and can tell us about that, we'd be very pleased to know. Let the friends. Something else too, okay, a little brass disc, which I personally think is a works token, and it says YHCCL 88. Which firm was YHCCL? Was it a firm, or was it something to do with the County Council of Lancashire or something like that? Number 88, I'm afraid, lost his works tag, maybe not got paid that week, but that was quite an interesting little find as well. Oldest finds were found by the gate, I understand, when they were doing some work there at the opening of the park. And the very old clay pipes, I think, were found at that end, and certainly there were a couple of musket balls, and here are the musket balls. I'm told that they're small though they are, they were for the small bore one probably for a pistol. The other one is I've seen them before, another ordinary sort of musket ball. But to have found the old pipe and the old coins and the musket balls would suggest something going on up at that end. I'd like to know what happened during the English Civil War in around Huyton, and whether there was any particular activity along what is now Barham Park Road, but which then had been out in the country. In fact, most of those artefacts are before the house was built. The house wasn't built until 1836, and some of these things appear to be quite a lot earlier than that. But of course, things would have been going on in the neighbourhood. And again, if there's any information about that, it can explain why musket balls and a very old clay pipe and those the older coins like the Anglesey token and the 1806 halfpenny came to be around. I mean, a halfpenny could have been dropped by somebody working on the estate, but on the grounds of whatever was here before the house. But musket balls, it would be interesting to know.